I don't own a microwave, a dishwasher, or a hairdryer, and I don't miss it. Today I'm sharing 20 things I don't intentionally buy or own as a minimalist, and why living with less leads to a calmer mind and space. Number one is small appliances, things like hairdryers, coffee makers, juicers. I really don't enjoy using small appliances. I prefer to do things manually where possible. In our kitchen, there are a couple of appliances that belong to my husband, but I just try and avoid them because I just don't enjoy using them. Number two is store-bought candles. Because most store-bought candles are toxic, I've always tried to avoid them. Sometimes I get given them as gifts, but I don't use them, and I prefer to make our own candles. Number three is new clothing. I think I own a couple of pieces that I bought new, but everything else has been bought secondhand, and that's my preferred way of buying clothing because it's a much more sustainable way. Number four is decor items. I prefer to use natural items like a jar with some hand-picked flowers or shells or stones or things like that. Sometimes I'm given gifts as decor items, but I don't tend to keep them because I prefer a more minimalist surrounding. Number five is plastic. I think most of us know that plastic is quite toxic. It's not very eco-friendly, and so I just try to avoid it wherever possible and have things made out of natural materials. Number six is craft supplies. If there is a craft that I'm going to do, I try and use reusable type things like reusing fabrics that I have or paper instead of buying new craft supplies because I find it's quite wasteful. Number seven is handbags. I don't buy typical handbags anymore. I haven't actually done for years. I have been given handbags, but I do have a small knitted bag, and I tend to use tote bags, and I won't be buying an actual handbag in the future either. Number eight is a rubbish bin. Our family haven't used rubbish bins for many, many years. We just use compost bags that we just put in the normal bin. And this is because we don't tend to generate much waste. We do composting, and so any food wrappers or something we just put in the bin because we don't need a large rubbish bin. Number nine is collections or collectibles. This is an area for a minimalist that I just really don't enjoy collectibles and having multiples of one thing because I try and own one of a certain category, so collectibles are something that I would avoid. Number 10 is alcohol. My husband and we don't drink alcohol, so this is not something that I buy or miss having. Number 11 is exercise equipment. I just tend to find exercise equipment bulky and off-putting. I'd rather do something like walking or Pilates that doesn't require any equipment. Number 12 is a car. Now, this one is a little bit hard because my husband does own a car, but I have never owned a car. I don't drive, and I've just always been used to either walking or using public transport, and so I don't miss it. Number 13 is photos or framed art on the walls. I have a few things that our children have made, but I'm really not a fan of having photos on the wall or art or just framed photos around the home. I do have a few photos in a box, but I'm just not a fan of having those on display. Number 14 is a dryer, and this is a large appliance that I've never owned one, and I think I might have used one once or twice. I just don't find it a necessity. I can just dry clothes either outside or in front of the fire. Number 15 is another large appliance, which is a dishwasher. I've used one in a temporary situation in a house that we lived in, but overall I have always hand washed and don't need a dishwasher. Number 16 is instruments. My daughters tried to play the violin for a while, but they sort of lost interest. So we don't have any instruments in our home. We don't buy them or own them. Number 17 is nail polish. Nail polish tends to be toxic and also nail polish remover, and it's just something that I personally don't use. Number 18 is chemical cleaning supplies. I've always made my own or I've bought eco-friendly cleaning supplies, but I don't like to use chemicals because they are toxic and you really don't need them. Number 19 is synthetic clothing, things like nylon, polyester, rayon. I always try and find natural fibers when choosing clothing or bedding or anything fabric, and so I avoid synthetic clothing and fabrics. And number 21 is new technology. So the technology that I either use my husband's, like we share a laptop, or I will have a phone that he has passed down to me. Don't like buying new technology, and he doesn't buy new technology either. Let me know in the comments what you no longer buy or own as a minimalist. And I also want to just note here that in no way am I saying if you own these things that it's wrong, and nor do I want to brag because I don't own these things. I just find these kind of videos myself quite inspiring, so I thought that I would share what I no longer buy or own as a minimalist. I hope you enjoyed it.